We're going to start off with our doc type HTML. This is declaring that this will be an HTML page. After that, we need our HTML element, which has a closing and opening tag, which you guys will see here. Then what we need is a head element, and this head element is not going to be displayed in the browser once we get to this point, but it's all the essential information that communicates to the browser. So you'll put your title here, some more information that will affect SEO. Start off with our meta element here, and inside of this one we need to set our char set, and the only char set that is really used anymore today is going to be the UTF-8. That's going to be what you want to go ahead and use. Now we want to create another meta element, and in this one we're actually going to specify our viewport here. So we want to add an attribute of name equal to viewport, and then the content needs to be equal to width equals device minus width, comma, and then our initial scale needs to be equal to 1.0. And now we want to add another meta element here, and in this meta element we're going to include a description for our website. So we're going to add an attribute of name equal to description, and then the content can be whatever you guys want here. And keep in mind, this is going to be essential for SEO purposes. You want to add a really clear description, but for our website, this is really just an example. So we're just going to put Alvin's Pizzeria. And then we want to add another meta element, and in this one, it's going to be our keywords, which again is going to affect our SEO here. So we're going to go name equals keywords and then content, and you can add as many keywords as you want. In our case, we're just going to go pizza restaurant here, and then we're going to include pizza near me. And keep in mind, you can add as much as you want, just make sure you add a comma after each keyword that you add. To add another meta element, and this one is going to be for our author. So basically I'm just going to put Kalman Web Design here. Now we want to include our title here, and that is actually going to display in the browser tab, and I will show you guys that in a second once we do that. And we're going to title this page Alvin's Pizzeria, and keep in mind that you need to make sure you title each HTML page that you create. Next, what we want to do is actually include our Google fonts here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my browser again and navigate over to Google Fonts. Next, we're going to go ahead and create our style sheet, but first what we want to do is set up our link to it in our head element. So we're going to create a link element, and then we're going to create an href attribute, and this is going to link to our styles folder / styles.css file, and that will make a lot more sense here in one moment. Our rel needs to equal style sheet to tell our browser that this is a CSS style sheet. Go create our styles folder here, and then within our styles folder we want to create a styles.css file. And now you guys can see what is going on here with our href attribute. Styles is for our folder, and then styles.css is for our file name. And then we're also going to be using Font Awesome here today. So we're going to go back to our browser, navigate to Font Awesome 6.5. That's the one I want to use today, and I like to navigate to cdnjs.com, and then you can navigate to this first one here. We're going to copy that one, then go back to our page here, and then we're going to put a little note for ourselves that this is our Font Awesome CDN, and all we need to do is just paste it. And if you guys can't find Google Fonts or the Font Awesome CDN, there will be links to that down below in the description for you guys. The last thing we need to do in our head element here is create a script tag. And we're going to be using some basic and brief JavaScript in today's video, but if you guys want to get more into the JavaScripting side of things, I'll leave links more to where I do that in other videos down below. And then to connect to our JavaScript page, we want to use an src attribute, and we want to navigate to our scripts folder and then to our scripts scripts.js. And for your JavaScript file, if you do not add the defer keyword here, okay, it is going to mess up, because the way JavaScript and HTML work together is the HTML needs to render before the JavaScript is utilized. So what this defer attribute is going to do is it's going to let all the HTML on your page successfully render and then run your JavaScript file. Now what we need to do is create another folder, and we're going to call this folder scripts, and then within our scripts folder we're going to create a scripts.js file, and then again this is going to be our folder name followed by our file name. Click the card above to see what happens next.